Cristiano Ronaldo. Over 900 career goals, and still adding to the total. 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions League titles, 1 European Championship with Portugal. The most followed human being in the history of social media. Over 1 billion followers. A boy from Madeira who survived heart surgery at 15, still scoring, still running, still obsessing at merely 40 years old. Lionel Messi. 8 Ballon d'Ors, the most in history. 4 Champions League titles with Barcelona, the 2022 World Cup with Argentina. A boy whose body fought against him from childhood, who was told he would never be big enough, and who won the World Cup at 35. Between them, they won 13 Ballon d'Ors out of a possible 19 between 2008 and 2023. 13 out of 19. They didn't just dominate football, they made everyone else compete for third place.
What if the greatest footballer who ever lived isn't one person? What if the God, just once, decided to give us 2 goats? Born the same decade, on opposite sides of the world, into completely different lives, both told they weren't good enough, both carrying weights nobody could see, both refusing, absolutely refusing, to stop. This is not a debate. This is a story. The story of how 2 impossible boys became the 2 greatest footballers the world has ever seen, and how, without each other, neither might have become either.
February 5th, 1985. On a volcanic island in the middle of the Atlantic, over 1,000 kilometers from mainland Portugal, the youngest of 4 children is born into a family with almost nothing. His father came home from war broken, an alcoholic, unable to hold down a job, unable to be who his family needed. His mother worked as a cook and a cleaner. Some nights there was no food on the table. And before this boy even took his first breath, his mother tried to end the pregnancy. The doctors refused. Her own attempts failed. And so, against everything trying to stop him, Cristiano Ronaldo arrived, as if the world simply had no choice but to let him in. June 24th, 1987, 2 years later. A different continent entirely, in the industrial city of Rosario, Argentina. Lionel Messi is born into a working-class family. His father works in a steel factory, his mother cleans houses. They are not wealthy, but what they could not have predicted is what their youngest son carries inside him. From the moment Messi could walk, he had a football at his feet. His grandmother, Celia, the woman he would later dedicate every single goal celebration to for the rest of his career, was the first to take him to training. She saw it before anyone else did. The touch, the balance, the way the ball moved with him like it didn't want to go anywhere else. 2 boys, 2 cities, 2 completely different worlds. The same impossible hunger. Back on the island of Madeira, word was spreading about this kid. At 7 years old, his father had gotten him into the local club Andorinha, where he worked as a kit man. And from day one, Ronaldo stood out. Every youth tournament, every local competition. His childhood friends would later say, at every single tournament from the age of 10, Ronaldo was named best player. Every single time. Then one day, Sporting Lisbon came to Madeira, one of Portugal's biggest clubs, scouting for young talent. The message was simple and brutal. Score the most goals, win the academy spot. One spot, that's it. Ronaldo was locked in from the first whistle, but his teammate and best friend, Albert Fantrao, had scored 2. Ronaldo had scored 1. Time was running out. Then, Fantrao broke through on goal. Goalkeeper beaten, empty net. The spot was his. And he passed to Ronaldo. Ronaldo scored. Ronaldo won the spot. Years later, someone asked Fantrao why he gave it up. He said simply, "I knew he could go all the way." Sporting Lisbon signed Cristiano Ronaldo for €1,500. And just like that, an 11-year-old boy from one of Europe's most remote islands had to pack one bag, say goodbye to his mother, his siblings, his friends, his streets, and board a flight to Lisbon. He had never been on a plane before. That flight to Lisbon, 1,000 kilometers away, was the first time Cristiano Ronaldo had ever left the ground. A boy from a tiny island, pressing his face against the window, watching Madeira disappear beneath the clouds. He didn't know when he'd see it again.
At 11 years old, Ronaldo left Madeira and moved 1,000 kilometers away to join Sporting Lisbon's youth academy. Alone, seeing his parents once every 3 months. His Madeiran accent was different, thicker, rougher than the Lisbon kids. They mocked it, used it as a weapon every single day. It got so bad that the academy had to call his mother to come from Madeira just to deal with the situation. At night, when the hunger hit, he and his teammates knocked on the back door of a nearby McDonald's, asked the staff for leftover burgers. The boy who would one day earn $200 million a year was begging for cold food at 11 o'clock at night. He planned to quit, pack up, go home, forget all of it. But something stopped him. He dropped out of school instead. Football or nothing. All in or go home with nothing. And Cristiano Ronaldo was never going home with nothing. While Ronaldo was begging for food in Lisbon, Messi was facing a different kind of battle. At 10 years old, he was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. His body wasn't producing what it needed to grow properly. Without treatment, he would remain too small. Too small, doctors feared, to survive as a professional footballer. The treatment existed, but it cost $900 a month. For a family where his father worked in a steel factory, $900 every month was not possible. Newell's Old Boys, his local club, agreed to help, then pulled out. River Plate showed interest, then decided the cost was too high. Every door closed. Every single one. Until Jorge Messi made one phone call to Barcelona. A scout named Carles Reixach watched Messi train for 30 minutes. He didn't need more time than that. He was so certain, so immediately certain, that when there was no contract paper available, he wrote the agreement on a paper napkin. A paper napkin. That napkin was the document that brought Lionel Messi to Europe. Barcelona would cover the treatment costs, but the price was everything else. At 13 years old, Messi had to leave Argentina, leave his friends, leave everything familiar, and move to a country whose language he barely spoke. Sound familiar? At 15, Ronaldo was diagnosed with tachycardia, a heart condition where his heart beat dangerously fast, even at rest.
Sporting operated laser surgery on a 15-year-old's heart. Days after surgery, he was back training. Not walking, training. By 16, he became the first player in Sporting's history to represent 5 different age groups in a single season. And then, a pre-season friendly against Manchester United changed his life in 90 minutes. He tore their entire defence apart. Before the United teen bus even left Lisbon, Ferguson had pulled Ronaldo aside and fast-tracked a transfer negotiation right there in the stadium corridor. The players waited on the bus for over an hour. £12 million, the most expensive teenage signing in British football history. And the number 7 shirt, previously worn by Best, Cantona, Beckham, handed to an 18-year-old who couldn't speak English.
In Barcelona,
Messi was fighting his own war. He arrived at La Masia, small, quiet, and thousands of miles from home. For the first year, he barely spoke to anyone. Trained, went to his room, slept, came back, trained again. But on the pitch, from the very first session, coaches said the same thing. This kid is different. Not louder, not flashier, just better. Like the game made more sense to him than it did to anyone else on the pitch. On October 16, 2004, Lionel Messi made his senior debut for Barcelona. He was 17 years and 114 days old. 2 years later, he scored a goal at the Bernabeu that made Real Madrid's home crowd stand up and applaud. A visiting player scoring at their stadium, and they clapped. Because what they had just witnessed was something beyond rivalry. It was art. By 2008, both men had arrived at the same place. Not geographically, but in terms of what they were. The 2 best footballers on earth. And the world, for the first time, had to choose. 2007/08. Cristiano Ronaldo, 23 years old, scored 31 Premier League goals. As a winger, he top-scored in the Champions League. United won the Premier League and the Champions League. In the final in Moscow, he scored. Months later, his first Ballon d'Or, official recognition, best in the world. The very next year, Messi answered. Barcelona under Pep Guardiola played perhaps the most beautiful collective football the sport had ever seen. And at the center of it, a 21-year-old from Rosario who seemed to exist one step ahead of every other player on the pitch. 38 goals, the treble for Barcelona. Champions League final against Manchester United, Messi scored. His first Ballon d'Or followed. And just like that, the greatest sporting rivalry of the modern era was alive. Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or, record after record. 2 men from different worlds pushing each other to heights no footballer had ever reached, making each other better every single year. Behind the trophies, Ronaldo was carrying Portugal. Tournament after tournament, exit after exit. 2010 World Cup, quarter-finals. Euro 2012, semi-finals. 2014 World Cup, group stage. An entire nation's hope. One man's shoulders. Euro 2016, France as hosts, Portugal as outsiders. Ronaldo reached the final, and then, 25 minutes in, his knee gave out. He was carried off the pitch, crying. He sat on the sideline, barely able to stand, and managed his team from the grass, screaming, pointing, willing them forward. Extra time. 1 goal. Portugal win. Ronaldo, limping, barely walking, lifted his country's first ever major international trophy. The boy from Madeira gave Portugal something no one had ever given them before. For Messi, the weight was Argentina, a country that produced Maradona and expected Messi to match him or exceed him. 2014 World Cup final, Argentina versus Germany, extra time. They lost. Messi picked up the golden ball, best player of the tournament. He held it with the face of a man who wanted to put it straight back down. 2015 Copa America final, lost on penalties. 2016 Copa America final, lost on penalties again. After the second, he walked to the microphone and said he was retiring from international football. Done. Over. He couldn't carry it anymore. He came back. Of course he came back, but the wound stayed. For all the club trophies, for all the individual awards, there was a version of Messi the world hadn't seen yet. The version that finally won with Argentina. It was coming, but not yet.
After 4 Champions Leagues and 450 goals, Ronaldo left Real Madrid in 2018. Juventus, Italy, 33 years old. His mission? Win the Champions League for a third different club, something no player had ever done. 3 seasons, 3 exits. It didn't happen. Then Manchester United, the homecoming, shirt sales that made £90 million in 3 days, a debut goal that made the stadium shake like 2008 again. And then, in 2022, the worst moment of his personal life. His newborn son passed away. He announced it publicly and grieved publicly, because there was no way to hide. He kept playing, because it was the only thing that had ever made any of the pain smaller. In 2021, after 21 years at Barcelona, Messi left. Not by choice. The club was financially broken. They couldn't afford to keep him. At his farewell press conference, he cried, uncontrollably, like a child being told he had to leave home. Because for him, that's exactly what it was. He went to Paris. The results were ordinary by his standards. The magic felt dimmed. But Messi was saving everything for one moment, one tournament, one final shot.
Qatar 2022. Lionel Messi was 35 years old. Everyone knew this was almost certainly his last World Cup, his last real chance at the one trophy that had always escaped him. Argentina lost their opening game to Saudi Arabia, a shock that stopped the world. And then Messi took over. Goal after goal, performance after performance, dragging Argentina through each knockout round on genius and sheer will. The final. Argentina versus France. 2-0, Argentina coasting. Then, France came back. 2 goals in 2 minutes. 2-2. Extra time. Messi scored. 3-2. France equalized. 3-3. Penalties. Messi stepped up first. Scored. Argentina won. And Lionel Messi, 35 years old, after a lifetime of near misses and heartbreak and retirement announcements, lifted the World Cup above his head. He fell to his knees on the pitch. His grandmother, who had first taken him to training as a small boy, had died years earlier. He looked up at the sky and dedicated it to her.
At the same World Cup, Cristiano Ronaldo was carrying Portugal. He scored, he led, he pushed. But in the quarter-finals, they fell. Ronaldo walked off the pitch, tears on his face, ending in the last 8. Not the ending the story deserved. But here is the truth about great stories. They don't always end the way you want to write them. And Ronaldo went home and kept going. Because Cristiano Ronaldo has never, not once in his entire life, known to give up. All right, let's put them side by side, the cold, hard numbers. Career goals. Ronaldo, over 900, still counting. Messi, over 800, still counting. Edge, Ronaldo. Ballon d'Or, Ronaldo, 5. Messi, 8, the most in history. Edge, Messi. Champions League titles, Ronaldo, 5, with 3 different clubs. Messi, 4. Edge, Ronaldo. Champions League goals, Ronaldo, 140, an all-time record. Messi, 129, second on the all-time list. Both of them, first and second. Nobody else even close. Edge, Ronaldo. World Cup, Ronaldo never won one. Messi, World Cup winner, 2022, Qatar. Edge, Messi, and it's not close. International goals, Ronaldo, 133, the highest-scoring international footballer in history. Messi, 109, second on that list. Edge, Ronaldo. Assists, Messi, over 380 career assists, one of the greatest creators the game has ever seen. Ronaldo, around 230, a finisher first. Edge, Messi, and it's significant. Total trophies, Ronaldo, 34 major trophies. Messi, 44 major trophies. Edge, Messi. So here is what the numbers actually say. If you want goals, Ronaldo. If you want trophies, Messi. If you want the World Cup, Messi. If you want Champions League goals, Ronaldo. If you want pure creation, Messi. If you want pure will, Ronaldo. The numbers don't settle it. They never were going to. Because the greatest debate in football history, who is greater? Ronaldo, who dragged himself from poverty, from grief, from heart surgery, through sheer, ferocious, relentless will, who outworked everyone, who never accepted his own limits, who turned every piece of pain into fuel and burned it for 20 years without stopping. Or Messi, whose body fought against him from the beginning, who was told he was too small, who lost international finals until he didn't, who made football look not like sport, but like something closer to music, whose touch scientists have genuinely struggled to explain, whose vision made teammates better just by being on the same pitch. Here is what we know for certain. In the history of sport, there has never been a rivalry like this. Not Ali and Frazier, not Federer and Nadal, not Jordan and anyone. Because none of those rivalries produced two people simultaneously operating at the absolute peak of human possibility for 15 consecutive years, each one pushing the other higher every single season. Ronaldo made Messi become this specific, extraordinary version of himself. Without Ronaldo, would Messi have come back after those international heartbreaks? Would he have been in Qatar at 35,
lifting that trophy? We will never know. What we do know is that the world got both of them at the same time for the same 15 years, and we were lucky. Two boys, one from a volcanic island in the Atlantic, playing football in Argentina, whose grandmother took him to his very first training session. Both told they weren't enough. Both carrying things.
Subscribe, because there are 100 more stories just like this one, waiting to be told.